So this is a quick video on how we're going to play this week. So Wednesday early morning is when the fuckeries start with the yen interest rates. Then we've got dollar interest rates, Fed dot plot revision, pound rates on Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday is going to be extremely volatile, but Monday, Tuesday I don't expect crazy moves. So Monday, Tuesday, something like this trade on UJ is a perfectly valid zone to take, but Wednesday, the whole goal is before shit hits the fan, before it gets crazy, that you either get a runner or you've made some percent to play around with the news, because it's a lot easier mentally when you're playing around with the profits that you make. When worst case scenario you lose a bit of your profits, and what ends up happening is a trade works as long as you follow logic. So with trades like this and with this strategy, it works in any market conditions. All it requires is big balls and following logic. If you have big balls and you don't follow logic, you're going to over risk and you're going to lose a lot of money. If you have small balls and you follow logic, then you're not going to put money where it should be. So don't hesitate, just use fucking common sense. Just don't take stupid trades. Wait for trades to come to you. Be at peace with missing trades where you might not capitalize on moves, but don't chase trades. This is a week where it is essential to follow your plan, or else the market will fuck you sideways. So so let's say Monday, Tuesday, a zone like this is valid, but what do we do on Wednesday onwards, when you've got yen, dollar interest rates and so on? Well, you just play a bit more defensive. If you look at the last, let's have a look at the last over a year. No, it's not been a year. What the fuck? Sorry, over the last 6 months, what is the biggest daily mover that I can see? 330 pips. I think there's this day which is 480 pips. I think that's an extreme end on UJ, and this was the yen carry trade situation. So we also had yen and dollar interest rates this week, but also the huge carry trade situation. This is a huge daily mover, 560. So on the high end you get something like 500 plus, but normally the big movers are anywhere from 300 to 400 pips. What that means is, let's say we forget what the news event is, let's say we either get extremely weak yen or extremely strong dollar. Whenever the news event comes out, there is no way that price is going to push more than 600 pips. It might push 400 pips, maybe 500 pips, but it's not going to push more than 600 pips. It might keep pushing higher, but there will be a reaction within that zone, and every area acts as a buffer. So kind of think of it like this: the biggest momentum you'll get one way is 600 pip momentum, and the stronger the momentum, the more the zones are likely to be breached to slow the momentum and potentially stop the momentum. But let's say it's a 400 pip move towards the upside. What you notice is that the 50 fib plus daily key level is 400 pips away. So if this zone gets breached, and when there is news, if let's say price was over here, then I would no longer consider this zone. Maybe if we have timing or alignment, but you won't be able to react quick enough, and it does depend on the news event. But I'd want a breach of this zone to then only take this zone, because what that means is price would have had to push up 350 pips to my zone. And when we were looking at the biggest daily movers, some days it was 300 to 400. So this day it was 300. So if it does breach this zone, there's a chance it might make the move from this area. But if it doesn't, then what's the next obvious zone? Well, the big 61 plus key level. And do you really think price is going to breach this one, and also this one? There is a possibility that it does breach this zone after breaching this, but there's a good chance that it does deliver the move from here, because it's not going to be fully dollar bullish, like strong dollar. Even if it does breach this zone, let's say, then this has a good chance of delivering. And same thing for buy side. If we push 250 pips towards the downside, I would ideally want a breach of this zone at the very minimum, unless the news isn't full on weak dollar. But it's just to kind of give you an understanding of the logic, where it's just common sense. In hindsight, everything is simple, so just plan the hindsight in advance. And yes, you might, let's say if you're looking at something like this and you're wanting a breach of this zone, price makes the move from here, who gives a fuck? There's going to be endless opportunities. We might get trades before the market goes crazy, when it's going crazy, or you can always trade the aftermath. or you can trade next week. There is no rush. If an opportunity presents itself, follow logic, don't hesitate, plan the trade and trade the plan, anticipate everything beforehand, and don't be scared. This is the daily time frame. Shit is likely to work. There's a video on my YouTube channel which I've traded a week like this, and I didn't even keep up with the fundamentals because it was a logic based approach. So hopefully this video did help. Make sure you look at alignment for Dixie for the yen index, and have a smashing week.